about Labour's hatred of old people, basically. They basically want them gone, as far as we can see. So Starmer is now pressuring Labour. We've briefly touched on this, but a little bit more on it. Starmer is now pressuring Labour MPs on assisted dying. So Kim Ledbetter, one of the MPs, has got this kind of wildcard bill going on. But I think what a lot of people don't know is that it's a pet project of Lord Alley's. Did you know that?
No.
So there was a vote on this, or there was a bill on this about 5 or 10 years ago, and Lord Falconer, who's a nutter, who's basically pro this, he used to call him Fatty Falconer, he's lost weight actually, but he and Lord Alley were kind of key proponents of this assisted dying bill. So we now found out it happens to be the pet project of one of his little funders, or his favourite funder basically, which I think a lot of people don't know. So suddenly, miraculously, this bill's come through from Kim Ledbetter. Lord Alley, we find out he wants assisted dying to take place in the UK, and Starmer's pushing his MPs on it all the way through. It stinks again. What also stinks about this is there's a lady called Esther Ranson involved in this. Now Esther Ranson is a very toothy, irritating lady who used to do a program called That's Life when we were younger. She's not particularly engaging or interesting. Sometimes she has moments of popularity. But somehow she has the direct ear of the Prime Minister on this. Because she's got some sort of cancer or what. I mean, she's old, so she's just dying anyway. But she's got the ear of the Prime Minister, and somehow she is pushing this assisted. Why? How do these people get into positions where they are not elected by anybody, but they are influencing policy in this manner?
I think they're using her just as much as she's using them. I don't think someone like her could influence policy. I think they want to do this anyway because it really is a socialist agenda to let old people die and people can kill themselves. But because, especially for people our age, she was the face of common sense. All the campaigning she did on all sorts of things through that program.
She did set up Childline, didn't she?
Set up Childline.
That didn't do so well.
Yeah. Well, not only that. Also knew about Jimmy Savile and didn't say anything until after he died.
Yes, I've heard that.
She admitted that on TV. That was disgraceful. Hence why she probably set up Childline. But you're right. Who cares what Esther Ranson thinks?
Yeah.
Who cares?
Well, apparently we have to.
Yes.
She's going to do it. So, David Frost wrote a very interesting article in the Telegraph, and you mentioned some of the stats in there. 1 in 20 deaths in Canada is now euthanasia, which is shocking. From 2027, it'll be available for mental illness only. And David Frost talks about morality, which is quite interesting, Judeo-Christian morality, and how we've lost that morality, and as a result, things like this are now starting to be accepted. And I think it was a really interesting article. And you and I have talked about. I've told you before, I believe myself to be a Christian, even though I don't particularly believe in God. And I went to church for a while, as you know, just to try and understand, re-embrace that part of my childhood. But what he's saying is, because we have abandoned Christianity, Judeo-Christianity beliefs or whatever, these things are now sneaking in. And he also cites abortion as an example of that, saying that in last year, 2022, there were 250,000 abortions in this country. 250,000? Yeah, 250,000. Now, what's interesting about that is one of the arguments for immigration is we haven't got enough young people in this country to do the jobs, but this kind of is an opposite argument to that, isn't it? To say if we hadn't made the decision to allow abortion to be so readily available in this country, we might have more people available to do jobs in this country and do some of the things that the immigrants are doing.
That's one argument, but we don't need that argument because we've got 10 million people unemployed.
Yes.
So
correct.
There's your workforce.
Yes.
We've created a society where some of us don't want to bring children into the world, and it's like, well, that's an indictment on the country that we've got a country now that we don't want to bring our children into this world, or if we have one or two, that's all we're going to do. Mainly one now, and that's because our society's not been designed for the last few decades to facilitate the family. Family's never mentioned, family's not protected. anyone can have a family, anyone can be a parent. And when I say anybody, I mean you don't have to be opposite sex, you don't have to be heterosexual, you can be... we've allowed people to take the word family, like there are many words, and have it mean whatever they want it to mean. We don't give families breaks anymore now. We don't create an environment where families flourish. And we tell especially women that having children is not the most important thing for you, it's having a career. Everything is anti-family all the time, and at the peak of that is we allow mothers to murder their children in the womb. If that isn't a stain on our society, I don't know what is.
As you know, I don't necessarily agree with your views on it. So it's not that I don't agree with your views on abortion. I haven't formulated in my own head yet what I really, because I think I said to you before, I've always been, since a kid, I've been told that pro-choice is the way to be, but I've kind of accepted it. I've never questioned or challenged it. We said at some point we were going to have a debate and a discussion about it. But I think your point about family is very interesting. Now, Lord Frost mentions, we are now a state unmoored from the morality of the Judeo-Christian. So the state has pulled away from the Judeo-Christian morals. But
did you enjoy that video? I think you did. Come on now, hit that bell, subscribe, comment. Let's build this channel. I need more followers. I need more subscribers. Be part of the journey. See you soon.